You're probably thinking a little too much about your larynx. Let's talk about it. Hi there, my name's Chloe, and I help people change the gendered presentations of their voices. The number one comment that I get from people who first enter into lessons with me that they say that they struggle with is, quote, raising their larynx. One of the number one things that you'll read about voice feminization is that you have to raise your larynx. You have to raise your larynx no matter what. That's not untrue, but it's also not the best way to go about thinking about changing our voice. When people just focus on changing the height of their larynx, that it also tends to induce a lot of strain and tension. Another one of the most common sorts of comments that I get as far as what people are struggling with has to do with keeping their tongues down or something like that. And this also tends to lead to unnecessary strain and tension and entanglement of various muscles that aren't strictly necessary for what we need to use them for, if we need to use them at all. Instead of starting by focusing on what you're moving around in your body, start with the sound you're trying to change. In this case, for example, we could say if you're trying to raise the pitch of your voice, acquaint yourself with the sounds of lower pitches, ha, and of higher pitches, ha. Once you can start to acquaint yourself with this sort of a relationship, try to see if you can match these particular pitches. It might take a little bit of practice, but this is a worthwhile skill that will help you control your voice to an even finer degree. Another thing that you might want to acquaint yourself with is the different sounds of vocal sizes. For example, acquaint yourself with larger sizes, and smaller sizes, ha. Try to see the differences, try to see the similarities, try to see what degree of independence that you can isolate in the sounds that you are hearing, so you can start to develop a relationship with the sounds that you're going to try to create in your own body. Once you've done that, then try to mimic these sounds. Even if it feels like a silly thing to do, even if you are going to be totally off from your initial target, try to do it anyway, and try to do it in a way that promotes health and wellness rather than strain and no pain, no gain sort of mentality. Then you can start to use these mimicked sounds with what your voice feels like and sounds like when it's at rest, when you're not doing anything to your voice at all. And from there, then you can start to focus on what's happening in the larynx. Then you can start to focus on what's happening in the tongue. That's my little weekly PSA for all of you wonderful, beautiful people out there. Good luck. Know that I am always rooting for you, and I hope that this has helped you out. Let me know in the comments section if you have any particular questions, or give me some ideas of what to talk about in future videos, so that way I can best serve all of you. Until then, take care.